Hello everybody and welcome to a new lag poker session. Today we are gonna play 4 tables mixing NL100 and NL50. Tables 1 and 4 are NL100, table 2 and 3 are NL50. We are now opening Ace King at table 4, again NL100. We are typically ready to place a 4-bet. I would say calling a 3-bet out of position is something we should definitely do in the long run. Um, I don't have a lot of history with my opponents, so I don't care too much about being that balanced as of now. I think I'm gonna place a 4-bet almost every single time with no history, but it's close. Calling is also an option. That's totally fine. I don't expect my opponent to play GTO, and I'm not gonna do the same as well. But let's see, this guy I think is disconnected, so not gonna be doing much probably. The guy on the cutoff is a recreational. Um, I really don't know the others. Probably even, no, he is not sitting. He still has auto rebuy. Let's see. Let's see. That's a long time bank, I would say. But, let's see. Now folding, let's see the cutoff. Calls in position, that's a nice flop. I'm gonna start with a big bet, maybe check the turn. That's close. We can also bet, still play with kicker, and we are gonna fold the 20 raise. He folds, so that's fine. Okay, let's move on. Table 4 still. We are gonna open from UTG A7 suited. This guy calls. I think I'm not sure he missed any hands, so he should be very, very loose. And because of that, this guy may be a regular. I'm not sure about it. If it squeezed, I could have placed a 4-bet there. But anyway, nobody does anything. I'm gonna start with a check raising an option. Let's see also if they bet, how much they bet, and so on. All check, 4 spade hits. I don't think this card gives me a lot of fold equity. I think I'm just gonna check. My hand out of position is pretty ugly because also when we improve to straight, it's gonna be super obvious. Hoping it's not a spade also, and that's why to a pot bet I'm just gonna fold. I don't see a lot of profit there in doing anything else. 7-8 off, big blind. Let's see. This guy limps. Let's hope nobody ISOs because, of course, we want to play with this guy as much as we can. But unluckily, this guy ISO and it's a bit too weak, 7-8 suit, 7-8 off to do any defense. We go on table 2 where we have pocket deuces and we are gonna defend versus UTG usually. Of course, if there is no 3-bet, in that case, I'm just gonna fold and that's what's gonna happen. We'll go back at the 4 tables. Queen ten off on table 4. Well, I'm gonna open if nobody else if nobody else does. We have a limp from UTG, which will make me ISO if the button doesn't, and he doesn't. So we go for the isolation here, hoping the big blind folds. It's a bit loose, but if we think our opponent is quite weak, I don't mind. We start by betting. We're gonna keep fighting on certain runouts. He's loose pre-flop, but we don't know for him. I mean, we don't know if he's loose or not post-flop. I mean, I don't think it's a calling station, but we'll have the opportunity to see. Queen ten off again on table 4. We also have 6 jack suited on table 3. We are gonna probably play them both. This guy opens 2x. Just gonna 3-bet in position because I want to protect the recreational player here. That's a sweet flop also, and I am gonna place a stab here. But half pot with this guy, I would say is fine. I don't know, it might be a whale, I have no idea. I'm gonna bet again. I'm not sure I can fold if he gives me strong action. Okay, we go on table 1 where we see bet with pocket queens and unluckily just get a fold. On table 2, I would say we are probably gonna play this queen 9 suited and I'm gonna make it 3x given there is a bring in. We get a call. And the squeeze. Just gonna fold here. Nothing else to do. We have aces on table 1. Let's see if he gets some action. Hopefully from this guy who is a recreational. Wouldn't be bad, but I already folds to the button. Who folds as well? Not promising. This guy limps. We're gonna raise, but it's gonna be difficult to get value here. Limps folds. Too bad. Maybe a recreational, I'm not sure. Table 2, I think I have to call here with ante. That's gonna be an interesting flop. And also we have pocket nines at table 4. I'm gonna switch between scenes to see the most interesting one. We check with the jack deuce, top pair, no kicker. We're probably gonna call one and then reevaluate. Not happy to see a bet and a call, and not happy to see this turn at all. It's gonna be a check fold now, probably. We go on table 4 where we check call the flop after this guy bets in position, after we checked. Probably gonna do the same turn. The 9 of diamonds is a pretty terrible blocker to have. Have to admit that. He called call. I think he's just calling 9-10 suited as tens. Started betting in a three-way pot. We have no info. Info is quite close. I would say I will fold because of the 9 of diamonds, which is again a pretty bad blocker in general, I would say. Let's go on table 3 with king, queen suited. That we open. It was close with pocket nines. It was close because we had no info mainly. And here with king, queen, calling or for betting are both fine option. I'm gonna call this time. Not the best flop ever, to be honest. Can also check fold probably on a board like this. If there was a heart, we wouldn't be check folding on a heart, but especially on a big bet like this, just gonna fold. And we move on. Jack 6 off, a6 off. We are definitely gonna open with a6 off if nobody else does, and nobody else does. Big blind calls. I saw him calling a lot. Maybe a recreational. We start with a bet, then we'll see to keep fighting or not. He folds, that's fine. We go on table 1 with ace jack off. We open. May sometimes be a 4-bet. Usually a fold. Let's see if the big blind chooses to give us some action. He does. We flop an ace, which is nice. On this board versus a regular, if I wanted to play GTO, I would bet big or check. I don't know my opponent. I'm gonna check back this time. Nice turn. I would say more often than not, we just bet on the flop. Time to time, I don't mind checking versus an unknown or versus a regular. We start betting on the turn, of course. And I'm gonna bet huge on the river. Like ISO, like polarizing ourselves. He folds, unluckily, and we go on table 2 with ace jack off as well. I'm gonna fold if the big blind 3-bets. They tend not to 3-bet enough. But they'll fold, so we get it. 6-7 off, just a fold. Queen 9 off, to lose from the cutoff. Not gonna play that, and ace 9 off as well. I would say maybe some kind of borderline hand, UTG from in an anti-table. Table 3, recreational players opens, and I'm gonna defend this. Cutoff versus big blind. Sometimes check raising this flop, I don't mind. Depends also how much he bets. If he bets, if he pots, maybe not. But if he bets like this, I'm definitely gonna do it sometimes. We're gonna keep fighting on certain runouts. If it is again, of course, we're just folding. Uh, 5 of diamonds is kind of sick. I would say it can be okay. He's a scary to some of his range. I'm gonna bet. Let's see how quickly he acts on this. Thanks, calls. The ace. I think I have to bluff it versus a recreational player. He's gonna have overpairs which are be scared here. He shouldn't be scared, of course, in theory, but I think in practice he's gonna be scared sometimes when he has something like queens and stuff. Of course, if when he has this hand, ace king, I don't expect him to fold that. It was unlikely quite of a top range, but whatever. Of course, we hoped he was folding that on the flop, so that's why I wouldn't mind. Turn and river, of course, I don't expect him to fold that hand anytime. We have pocket kings on table 1. Let's see if we can get something differently from the aces before. But again, they all play very tight. And we open from the small blind versus a regular on the big blind, hoping to see a 3-bet. That would be sweet. And we see the 3-bet, so we are gonna place a 4-bet. Calling a shove, obviously. Could have been a bit bigger since we also are a bit deep stack, but not much. He calls 2 aces, well better than 1. We are gonna place a c-bet on the flop. See what villain does. It's gonna be close here, what to do in the next streets. He calls the 4 hits of spades. I don't have the spade. I think I'm gonna keep firing. Can be also Team bet on the river. He has jacks and queens that I think he may call on a board like this, especially on a non-spade river. On a spade, I would just check on the river. Check and fold usually, because I don't think he has much of a bluffing range. Folds here, that's fine. King 10, we are gonna c-bet here. Could be a mix versus a regular. We don't know this guy, so I'm gonna c-bet. If I knew he was a regular, sometimes, not always, sometimes I would just check back. I'm gonna bet this time. Actually, I didn't see he wasn't using the auto rebuy option, and meaning he's probably a recreational player, so I would have bet bigger if I knew that, if I noticed that. Table 4, we are gonna squeeze with our pocket nines here. First guy folds, this guy folds. Okay. Back to the tables. This guy also is not playing full stack, so we'll mark him as a recreational. Strongly advise you do the same. If somebody does not have the auto rebuy option on, there are very high chances, I would say above 90% chances he is a recreational. And so it's fair to assume he is. Some action here. Let's hope the recreational doubles up on table 1 with pocket fives. Ah, very unlikely. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. See if he revives. Would be nice. If he doesn't leave. Unluckily, he did leave, so we go on table 2 with 10 queen suited. We open. Big blind is a recreational player. We flop past open-ended straight draw. We are gonna c-bet more often than not. We can also be aggressive on certain runouts. He raises. I think we have to call the first, even if we're not super happy on a board like this, but I think we have to call the first raise, and we're gonna fold to this on this turn. It's gonna be too difficult now to get any money from our hand when he hit, and we also have huge reverse implied odds, so goodbye. 8-9 suited on table 1. We do open from UTG +1. We are 6 max, so it's basically an MP as of now in this table. This guy is cold calling a lot. I think it's maybe a recreational because, again, he's really calling a lot, both in this table and table 4, which a regular should not do. But to be fair, so far, it did it mainly on the bottom, so still we don't know. We call it 8-9 off here. I thought it was button. I misread the action. I would have folded versus the cutoff. And on this board, I'm just gonna check call flop and then reevaluate on the turn what to do. Not the best turn ever. I will check. If he checks back, we may sometimes bluff the river. I feel like we have to bluff the river. We don't need to bet huge here. I think we have a lot of hands which are betting small as well. And so we do. Table 2, we have ace queen, and we are gonna open. We're gonna call in case the big blind 3-bets. But he just calls, and this nice flop hits. We are gonna c-bet for sure. Now, on table 1, we place the 3-bet blind versus blind. Sometimes in small percentages, I would do it with this hand. And we definitely have to c-bet this flop with our gut shot. No need to make it huge, I think. He calls, nice turn. I'm gonna bet turn and thin shove river. Of course, unless a diamond hits. Well, we are a bit deep stack. I didn't see we are deep stack. Deep stack, I don't think I'm gonna shove river. It's closer deep stack since we're not gonna be doing bet bet shove. Time to time, I don't mind checking back on a diamond. That's fine, I would say. We're calling any river. Of course, no raise. No need to raise here. And unluckily, we split. Or luckily, we had 10-5, he had 10 king, and we split. I would say luckily, maybe. Let's say luckily. New players coming in. And we have ace king on table 1. And jacks at table 2. I will leave the action where it's gonna be more interesting. Let's see. We are 3-betting this ace king. If he 4-bets, could be a call, could be a shove. I don't have a strong preference on the two. I'm gonna shove this time. It's nice with regulars to have also a flow in which we call this hand sometimes. But we have no history so far, so I don't mind. Okay. Now we have on table 4 ace queen suited. We're gonna three bet a lot if they give us the option to do so. Okay, already folds up to the small blind, who is a regular. And I'm gonna three bet, of course. If he four bets, can also be a shove, blind versus blind. Among regulars, it's quite standard, I would say. Calling a four bet is also an option. I like both lines. Thinking about it, it does four bet, and we will shove this time. Again, calling was absolutely an option. See what he does. He folds, and we are okay. We go on table 3 with ace-9 suited. We see this guy, never seen him before. Who opens? Probably gonna call. Nobody else. 3 bets, obviously. If I knew this guy is a recreational, I would just squeeze, but I have not this information, so I'm gonna call this time. I still don't take the squeeze, so I'm gonna call. Tricky flop. I'm gonna check. Let's see what they do. I think check raising if the button bets could work quite a bit. And no need to make it huge, to be honest. We're gonna continue on some runouts, of course, if this guy folds. Okay. Nice. Check calling it would be an option, I think, more often if we were heads up. If we were heads up, I think I would check call that more often. In a three-way pot, I prefer to check raise. King Jack suited on table 3 as well. We are usually gonna 3-bet. I don't take cold for betting time to time versus a regular. So if this guy 3-bets, I would say cold for betting could be interesting. If not, we just 3-bet ourselves versus GTG, who again we never saw, so maybe a recreational. That's a very interesting flop. I would say you can do many things. If I knew he was a recreational for sure, I would block bet. Not knowing it, I think check calling is a bit safer option. And that's a very nice turn, and we are gonna start betting. There are a lot of draws out here. He can have a jack weaker than mine, stuff like this, so I'm gonna bet. If he has ace jack, we're just gonna cry. He calls, and the river sucks quite a bit. I think bet folding is an option. Thin shoving? I'd rather bet fold versus an unknown. I don't think they're gonna shove enough as a bluff. Yeah, it's a jack, so we can start crying. Nice. Ace is on table 1. We are gonna raise in position. If he 4-bets, I'm usually gonna call this hand. He does 4-bets, and I'm gonna call in position. I think ace plays usually very well as a call for a 4-bet. He checks. I'm gonna bet about half pot on a board like this, hoping to see a shove or stuff like this, which would be super nice to see. But he just folds, so too bad. We go on table 4, where we go for a squeeze. The regular call called should be a bit capped, but let's see. Calls now and the flop is sweet, I would say. I'm gonna start with a bet. I think he would try with kings and queens, probably even king queen. Maybe sometimes he's flatting king and queen suited, but I'm not sure about that. So I'm gonna see bet this board with our nice equity. Raising on inside would be a bit suspicious. Just shoves. Well, I cannot call. It's suspicious even this, but he may be bluffing with the best hand. Some stuff like ace x of clubs, and I already cannot do much. If not folding, so we just fold. We go on table 4, nothing. It's a very weird shove. I don't like it much, nor as a bluff, nor as a value shove. Okay. Just three-handed on table 4. We're gonna three-bet this. Quite standard. Okay. Table 1, we have ace 9 off. I'm definitely gonna call versus the button if the small blind doesn't three bets, obviously. And he does three bets, so nothing. We go on table 3, where time to time I'm gonna three bet this hand in a big blind versus small blind situation. Couple of folds. Table 4, jack 9 off. We are gonna defend versus the small blind. Might fold on this flop. I would defend if I had a diamond, I would say. He checks. No info. I'm probably gonna bet this hand. Still close. Okay, table 2. We have a recreational player shoving on us. We are gonna call it queens and good luck to us. He has kings, so we really need a lot of good luck. Nope. Too bad. We're running terribly at NL50 today. Better there at NL100, that NL100 I would say, but still, that sucks. 7 and suited, we open on table 4. Okay. King Queen. Still at table 4, we are gonna open, and if this guy 3-bets, we can call, we can sometimes 4-bet. This time I'm gonna 4-bet. I would say, again, both lines are fine. I would mix them. If you 4-bet is to fold, obviously. He does call, and that's a very interesting flop. I'm gonna start with a bet. Shouldn't have that many offsuit aces in his range. If he's a regular, obviously. And that's a pretty nice turn as well. I'm gonna bet something like this. To shove river. With what is hopefully gonna be the nut. If the river doesn't pair. Checking. Checking, I'm not in love with checking versus an unknown. I don't think they bluff enough. Simply. I think they make it's more likely he's gonna make a bet call than a bet bluff. So I prefer to just bet. Hoping he has a queen or a jack or something that he doesn't trust me. And on this river, we're just gonna shove with the nut. Quickly call, so it probably has the queen or the jack. Wow, nice. With the 9, that was a loose call. I mean, loose. If he expects me to bluff, it's fine. He's a bluff catcher as any other. Okay. Ten jack off, we are gonna fold from early position as well as 5-9 off. Queen deuce off, nothing to do here with that. 4-9 off. Maybe we're gonna play the king 10 off. Let's see, this guy must be a recreational. So he's not charging. If this guy opens, I'm gonna 3-bet him. No, he doesn't. So we do open. Big blind also is a recreational player. I could have made it bigger because of that, but I was a bit on autopilot there. So nothing. Jack 9 and King 10, both hands we might play. Let's see, we open the King 10. We ISO with the Jack 9. I like to ISO very wide with recreational players. King 10 is gonna be a fold, so we go to focus on table 4. This guy calls, and this interesting flop hits. I'm definitely gonna see with flop. And then we are going to reevaluate if to fire, keep firing or not. We might be aggressive on multiple straights, on multiple runouts, but let's see. Start with a c-bet, he quickly calls. 7 of hearts is sweet. I still prefer to bet than to check. It's gonna suck if he check shoves, which is gonna happen sometimes, but I prefer to get my full equity than to release for free my equity. But our draw was so strong that I don't mind checking back sometimes. I mean, exactly because it's really bad to bet and get shoved there. So if you want to check back some draw, that I think that's nice. But in general, I slightly prefer to bet. Kitten off there. This three-way pot, we may bet, we may check. I'm gonna bet this time and be aggressive on a decent amount of runouts, but let's see. Big blind cold. And he shouldn't have much, and indeed he folds. Okay. Table 1, we have ace-9 suited and we have a limper UTG, obviously a recursional player. If one guy ISO, I think I'm gonna 3-bet to avoid this isolation. And that's what I'm gonna do now. Should do something like this probably. I'm not gonna call a 4-bet out of position though. If that's gonna happen, and it doesn't, so nice. King 10 and Queen 9 suited. Queen 9 suited can play quite aggressively depending on the action. King 10 off. I'm gonna fold in. Well, 2x and the recreational calls. I don't think I'm gonna fold now. We trade with the Queen 9. We call the King 10. Hopefully to hit something with the recreational. We check. Let's see here what happens in the both tables, and then we'll go in the most interesting one. Queen 9 suited. Not calling a 4-bet, obviously. He 4-bets and we fold. And on table 4, we are gonna try to win this pot by betting big turn and most blank rivers. So I bet big here with our gut shot and 2 overcards. Regular folds, recursional folds. We get it. Okay. Okay, we should do something at our NL50 tables because it's a bit sick that we just spew there and lose money while we win at the others. Table 4, we are gonna ISO this wide versus a recreational player who limps. In position, of course, and he calls and this flop hits. We don't need much protection. We can get some value for sure, but his stack is so short he may sometimes also check shove draws and stuff like this. So I'm just gonna check back and trying to get to showdown in a cheap manner. He checks again. I'm gonna try to get some value now. I think he's gonna call it any spade if I bet this sizing. He folds, which is fine as well. I mean, we don't have much to be happy for with a hand like that. Okay, K9 off. It's normally a fold, King 9 off on the cutoff. I may choose to open it, well now not anymore, of course, but I, I could have opened that, given the big blind is a recreational. We go on table 3 with Queen Jack suited, and we are going to open from UTG. Everybody folds up to the blinds. It's not a hand we normally call a 3-bet with in these dynamics, so I would just fold if somebody 3-bets. No read, no anything. But let's see, we hope for a call mainly. No call, unluckily. And here we are. So we go on table 1, King Jack suited. And let's see, this table is not bad. We have a limp. Already folds up to the small blind. If he ISO, I think I'm just gonna call because I want to play with a bad player as well. But if he checks, we are gonna raise ourselves and try to play a nice spot in position. The flop is nice. And I am going to c-bet with a hand like this. Not small. We have a lot of equity. The board is quite connected. He maybe want to play with a wide range of hands. Him raising would suck a bit. I'm not sure we can fold now. The 10 also sucks a bit, I would say. We have a couple of options. I would say if I bet small now, something like this, and it doesn't tanks too much. If he raises, I'm folding. If he called quickly, I would probably team value bet the river or check call. It's a bit trickier when he tanks and calls because it may be a 10 thinking if to raise or not. So I would be a bit more concerned if he was tanking and calling. We go on table 3 with aces. Let's see what we can do here. Fold, fold, fold. Cut off. What do you do, Mr. Cutoff? We 3-bet. And if he 4-bet, we are gonna call the 4-bet. Again, aces plays nicely as a call 4-bet. And he does 4-bet, and we're just gonna call. The nice flop. This flop is also pretty nice. I'm not gonna fast play my hand. I'm gonna call in position and let him bet if he wants. The turn is pretty much a blank card. May have it, of course, but it would just suck. Check or bet. I like both, to be honest. I think if I had the ace of diamonds, I would just check. Without it, I'm gonna bet. Something like this. We also have a hand at table 4 that I will show you in a moment. Well, I don't know if we'll have time to show you. It's handing quickly. Okay, table 4. It was a limpet pot. We were big blind. We hit this nice hand. Check, check, flop. I bet turn. I bet river. Nothing too much out of the standards. And on table 3, we do open with Queen Jack suited. From the cutoff, button calls, recreational player. Small bank calls as well. Probably is as well, I'm not sure. And we have a gut shot, but we are also playing a four-way pot, so I think checking here is slightly better. All check, 8. Doesn't get any better. If they both check again, I think we may start bluffing sometimes, but that's not gonna happen. So we go on table 1 with ace jack off. Ready to 3-bet. We can sometimes 4-bet this one. So if the button regular 3-bet says I'm gonna go for a 4-bet this time, it's a bluff, so we 4-bet fold. Didn't happen this time. Small blind calls. He's a recreational player. Unlikely we missed the board. I'm gonna c-bet still. No, I'm not gonna c-bet. I'm just gonna fold now. Okay, we go now on table 3 where we open this. It's a borderline hand from this position. Could be an open, could be a fold. I do not have a strong preference here. Probably at NL50 it's safe to open. Yeah, this guy calls for the cutoff as well. I would say he's a recreational player, even if he may be wrong. And on this flop, I'm gonna check raise flop. Voila. We're gonna keep firing when we're improving something. Thinking about it. Does he like it? No, he doesn't like it at all. Nice. King it off. We just fold. Yep. 6-8 suited on table 3. We're defending this hand quite a bit. Let's see in this situation what is gonna happen. Cutoff is a recreational. He folds, unluckily. Middle was a recreational, pardon. Cutoff is a regular that folds. Everybody folds. Everybody folds. Okay, that's fine. That's sweet from the big blind to get plus 50 big blinds plus 50 big blinds per 100 instead of minus 100. We take it with 6-8 suited. And on table 4, we have ace queen offsuit. Let's see if we can stack this guy. We bet 5 here. Equals. Flop is nice. When he's so short, I don't mind checking and let him do anything. I mean, we are in no rush of stacking him, so we want to give him the most opportunities to make a mess. I'm gonna bet now on the turn. Somebody rang suspiciously. I'm gonna shove the river, of course. Okay, he folds on the river, but it's sweet. He got something. Okay. I think we're gonna sit out now next big blind. We played about 45 minutes, which is the standard for our sessions. I think it wasn't that bad at the end because we spewed and lost at NL50, but we won. We won okay at NL100, so all in all, I think we're safe. Table 2, we fold. Well, we are sit out now. 3 tables left. 1, 3, and 4. Ace 7 suited on table 4. We're definitely gonna play if nobody else opens. I'm also gonna 3-bet in position the cutoff since he's a recreational player if he chose to open. And he does not. Or yes, he does. Okay, 3-bet in position. Let's see, he quickly calls and we flop an ace. I'm gonna call this donk bet. It should be a recreational player, but let's see what's gonna happen because we may not want to get it in. He checks. I'm gonna bet about half pot here to check back the river. If he check raises here, we are folding. If he check calls, we're checking back the river, unless we hit a 7, of course. And we check here. I think he may have some random ace. He may have a king, but I don't think we have value. He had a much more random hand than he thought, so that's fine. Queen deuce. I'm gonna open from the cutoff. It's super loose, quite loose, but still borderline, I would say. Didn't see many 3-bets in this table, apart from us. That's a nice flop as well. We're still betting here. Versus a regular, I think we should have also some big bets. Okay. Last hand in this table, and I'm definitely gonna open it with the recreational player on the button. Not gonna defend to 3-bet, obviously. Unless, of course, the recreational makes it so super small. In that case, I would defend, but let's see. Ah, almost happens. I think to this size we still should fold, especially because they don't 3-bet much from the big blind. So just gonna fold. Will not be naughty. Table 1 is the last table we have action on, so I will leave you here for the rest of the session. In the meantime that we let the action go for the last 2 hands, I hope you're enjoying this content. If you do, please follow and subscribe. If you have any tips or any requests, please ask in the comment section. I will be more than happy to let's say try to improve this content as much as I can. If you have also any question about a hand I played or critique, as long as it is exposed in a good manner, I don't mind. So please say it also in the comments. I like to discuss hands that I played. I'm playing this game since 2010, but I'm still in doubt about some hands, and I still like to create some discussion. So if something is not clear, or if some hand you would have played differently, please let me know. Ace Jack, which is gonna be our last hand on table 1. We open from UTG. Normally I fold from this position if they 3-bet us. In position, it might be my bottom calling range. But out of position, I'm normally gonna fold. Maybe I'm gonna defend versus a recreational player. May sometimes be a 4-bet versus a regular. Definitely not gonna be a call to a shove. So we fold, and that was it. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye.